What's going on there, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boy, oh boy, let me tell you guys something. We have some brand new leaks for Battlefield 6, and we got to see absolutely everything between all of the rest of the equipment, all these skins within the game, customization for both vehicles and also character models. I mean, all I gotta say is we have a lot to go ahead and discuss in today's video, but keep in mind, these leaks might not be up, so, it's no guarantee that you'll still be able to see this, but I will have a link to the full video down in the description of this video. And it's like 13 minutes long, showcasing absolutely everything that's going on in the current lab build. And as I stated, I gotta be real, it's looking very clean. And I am keeping my fingers crossed that DICE doesn't go ahead and absolutely gunk up this overall system that they have in place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to go ahead and begin, I know a lot of people probably know this, but I do want to mention it just for those who don't. There are going to be two different factions. Again, you're going to have NATO, and you're going to have Pax Armada. And again, each one of these factions are going to have multiple different countries, in their forces. So you're going to be seeing all different types of military units, on both sides of these teams. And let me tell you something, the overall camos and vibes that they have for all of these teams across the board, absolutely phenomenal. DICE did an amazing job at making sure each and every one of these factions, and again, countries, look unique and feel unique. And on top of all of this, each and every faction has more details when it comes to the cosmetics that you can go ahead and unlock. And again, I know a lot of people have been a tad bit skeptical about a lot of the camos that are going to be introduced into this game. And I did see maybe two camos that were a little weird. I mean, they kind of looked like they were paintball outfits or something like that. It is what it is. The mass majority of earnable content in this game looks like it's going to be on frickin' point, almost on the levels of Battlefield 4, where again you had some flashy camos out there, but the majority of them were pretty legitimate camouflages that you would put on your weapons and also your operators, which I am completely all about. Again, I know not everybody is on the same page here, and some people want extraordinarily flashy skins. But what I saw within the leaked footage here, and again, I highly suggest you guys go ahead and check it out. Again, I got a link down in the description of this video. These are nice looking skins, not only for all of the characters, but also for the vehicles as well. And some of the vehicles had some pretty, I don't want to say flashy skins, but they had some skins that, changed the look of the overall vehicle itself. But none of them were way too outlandish. You didn't have a tank that was completely decked out in pink with rainbows and unicorns on it. You might have a tank that has some barbed wire on it and stuff like that. Maybe a little camouflage here and there. Stuff like that. That is the outlandish stuff you're probably going to be seeing within Battlefield 6. And personally, I think that is exactly what the community has been asking for. And I also heard some leaks and rumors. Now, this I cannot confirm. Everything I mentioned here, I can confirm. But what I'm about to say, I cannot completely confirm. I've only heard it from a few other people. But apparently, you're also going to be able to change your gender when the game, officially launches, like in Battlefield 5, for example, where you can choose to be either a male character or a female character. You could also go ahead and change things like tattoos and so on and so forth. I don't know how true the statement is. When I looked at the leaked footage, there was no indication that you could change your gender and stuff like that. And again, keep in mind, a lot of the stuff I don't completely know because the footage that we have seen is in complete Chinese writing, and I don't know how to read Chinese, so I can't really talk about certain things unless I visually see it. But overall, from what I could see, yes. Oh man, the skins are looking outstanding, and I'm begging you, EA. I am absolutely begging you. I know the game at launch is going to look great, but please do not pull a Call of Duty and a month or two after launch start flooding this game with the most absurd cosmetics. Part of me is still thinking that they won't because, they tried with Battlefield 2042, they got backlash, and they completely slammed on the brakes. So I'm hoping we stop them dead in their tracks with Battlefield 2042. But I seriously can't push it past them because at the end of the day, the developers can make an outstanding game, but when it comes down to the cosmetics, that is up to EA to decide how they want this game to go ahead and look. Maybe the developers can have some influence, and maybe they have a lot of influence with how bad Battlefield has been recently. Maybe EA is all ears right now to Vince Zampella saying, okay, you know what? Maybe we don't understand what's going on here. Vince, lead the way. If that's the case, that's good and all. But as I just stated, I would not push it past them to go ahead and incorporate the flashiest of skins. But please keep it like this. If it stays exactly like this, I think a lot of the community is going to be completely happy with the outcome of this overall game. But ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't end just there with the cosmetics. Like I said, we also got a little bit of a sneak peek into a lot of the, I guess, not new, but the equipment that we're going to be rocking within this game for all of the specific classes. Now, first I want to talk about the sledgehammer. For those who don't remember, there were hints about a sledgehammer being on the assault class that will allow you to knock down barriers. Now, I forget which class I also saw it on, but while watching this leaker, scroll through different classes, they were on support or something like that. It was either support or engineer. And that class also had the sledgehammer. And another fact is that the sledgehammer was not under equipment for the assault class. It was under the melee weapon. So I'm assuming you can decide if you want to have a melee sledgehammer. I'm just curious what you guys think about this. Do you think this should be a assault, exclusive, or do you think that, everybody should have the ability to pick up a sledgehammer at the cost of having a knife? Because keep in mind, the knife allows you to run extraordinarily fast. It actually took me until the middle of the beta to figure out that the knife was like the best thing for movement to be able to get from point A to point B. Because obviously with a gun out, you're actually slower than all the Battlefield games at this point. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, 2042, Battlefield 5. You're literally slower than all those games with a weapon out. So to gain that speed, you can have a knife, or you can opt into using a sledgehammer. You have slower movement speeds, but now you have equipment that's in the form of a melee weapon that can obviously hit enemies with, but at the same time, you can use it on the terrain itself. I don't know, man. I like I said, I thought it was going to be equipment for assault, but I'm a little curious what you guys think about it being an open tool for every single class to be able to go ahead and take advantage of. But for the rest of the assault class equipment, doesn't look too shabby. They had the ladder in there, just a bunch of the noob tube looking weapon. I don't know. I guess it's just different versions, probably a smoke version, probably vehicle version, anti-personnel version, so on and so forth. You know how assault goes. And they also had a strange looking pistol at the end, but I honestly have no clue. Again, it's all in Chinese writing, so I can't really read the description. For the engineer class, you guys are going to be very happy with this because the RPG catalog is absolutely massive. I mean, javelins, RPGs, stingers, all of the above. You have so much variety there, so I think people are going to love that. You have mines. You also have the C4 drone under the engineer class, which is going to be freaking hilarious to use. And last but not least, I'm very curious what this is because, again, it's in Chinese, so I have no clue what it says. But it looks like it's some gas canister. What the heck is that? A gas canister? What would that be used for? I'm trying to think of the uses. I'm assuming, obviously, it's for vehicles. Does it allow you to maybe heal vehicles at a faster rate instead of pulling out your, repair tool to heal it over a course of time? Maybe you just you refill the tank and it gives it half health or something like that. I don't know, but I would love to hear what you guys think about the gas canister down in the comment section of this video. Next up here is the support class, and if you guys remember back to the beta, all we really had were the defibs and the wall. And honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to put those defibs down. That was the most fun I've had. And, reviving in a Battlefield game in a long time. I hope they don't, completely nerf it to the dirt. And honestly, it's a lot more convenient than having to drag sometimes. I'm not going to lie, it's very fun. So I think that's going to be a permanent equipment spot. But they got a decent amount of stuff under here. They got a smoke launcher, so pretty much like the launchers that you have under the assault class. You have a smoke version, and you also, it seems, you have a fire version. I don't know if that's what it is. Again, I can't really read it, but it looks like a fire grenade launcher. You also have access to a trophy system. You have access to mortars. I know a lot of people are going to be happy and also pissed about that news. And of course, a fan favorite, the med pouches, but I'm assuming it's going to be med plus ammunition because in the image here, it's, it has a medic symbol on the pouch, but it also has mags kind of tucked into the side. So obviously, you know how you could drop the box, it gives you both meds and ammo, same thing, but a smaller little version of that. And then last but not least, I don't know what the heck this is. It's weird. It looks like maybe a motion sensor type thing. I don't know. You guys are going to have to go ahead and look at the leaks and, tell me what you guys think the final piece of equipment under the support class, turned out to be. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the Recon class. Again, of course, you guys already know we had a motion sensor and also C4, but we're also going to be getting a Claymore. Oh, the toxicity is about to be getting crazy. A recon drone to go ahead and scan everybody, a decoy head to plant down to, confuse people, or maybe even confuse a sniper rifle and bait them out. You also get a tracer dart gun, and the slams are making a return. Those bad boys that you could toss on tanks and other armor and, get some good explosions off of them. So far, Recon doesn't look that bad either. I'm still a little bit concerned about the TAC beacon, and of course, I kind of have a video planned about that one, but overall, not looking too shabby across the board, guys. A lot of the equipment here is looking pretty good, and they really define the roles of what you're going to be playing, whether you are an assault player, support player, engineer, or even recon. I feel like a lot of the stuff here, people are questioning it, saying if you're really going to be able to play your roles at the best of your ability. But I truthfully see it. I do. And I gotta be honest with you guys, after seeing all of this equipment, it has made me 10 times more excited to go ahead and hop back into this overall experience. I can't wait for Battlefield 6, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so freaking pumped. Between this, Ark Raiders, the relaunch of Splitgate 2, we are truly eating when it comes to FPS games, and I can't wait to dig my teeth on in. But, ladies and gentlemen, of course, go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about all this information here. Do you think that EA is going to screw up when it comes to the camos of the overall operators, weapons, vehicle skin, so on and so forth? Or do you think that they're actually going to keep them pretty grounded looking? I know they're going to be, flashy here and there. But do you think they're going to hit Fortnite levels, or do you think that they're going to be reasonable enough? And also, when it comes down to the rest of the equipment within the game, do you think that all this equipment is good for the classes that they've been given to, or do you think that they have to be rearranged and given to other classes to make them function better? But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Post your daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And also, guys, don't forget, sometimes I do double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribing and hitting that bell is the best way of staying notified on this channel. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, you can link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.